So hello and welcome to the first Chats with Jack podcast. We've got Spire Media owner and founder Charlie Walden here, who's done really well for himself so far. He's interviewed Gary Neville, he's had a good connection with Chesterfield Football Club, he's interviewed Martin Allen, previous managers and a lot of players. So just tell me what it was like setting up Spire Media.
It wasn't at first, I'll be honest with you, it was a piss around media thing. It wasn't a company as such as it is now. I wouldn't say it was a company. Some people call it a company, some people call it a team. I still like to call it a team and a company, but we're people professional, I usually call it a company because it's big and you set up, but that's what the main thing of it is, to be honest. But at the start it was, obviously, Ryan, did a YouTube channel, and I just thought, I was looking on Chesterfield and I thought, I wonder how I can get interviews with players, and how all of a sudden, and I seen Evo, so I messaged Evo, I was like, how can we get interviews with players and how can I interview? He said Nick Johnson, so obviously I emailed Nick and I was really signed about it, to be honest, and I showed him what we was doing, sent him the questions and stuff from everything, and I thought it was going to be a one-time thing, like, soccer AM, teammates, all that kind of malarkey and that. I thought we can do that, so we did it with Ian. I think it didn't seem to be like that, and I seemed to be leading the way, and Ryan was just like asking the same questions I'd asked, and it was like, I started to figure out I'm alright at this. So then I reached out to Tommy Lee, and I did one with Tommy, and I think after I did it, he said something to me like, you're made for this or something. He said something like that. I can't remember, he said something like that, but that's when I thought maybe, and then obviously a lot of Spire Media is opportunities that brought the interest. At first I thought it was a piss around little thing we could do, and obviously it's grown into somewhat professional now, but basically at first it was like, we want to meet players, we want to interview players, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to meet the managers, stuff like that. And when we done that, we got an offer from, I think, was it ladies first, and actually no, it wasn't the ladies first. We interviewed John Crew actually as well, he said good job. But then it came a few months after, we set up a page, we got a few followers under our belt, Tommy Lee, such stuff like that, developing contacts, only small ones, but then we got reached out by Mike Newman, obviously, and he wanted to do the ladies, and that's when I thought, why does he want us to do that?
Yeah.
Only little thing, and he explained he thought we'd done really well, and he looked like really professional, so to be honest, that's when I started referring to it as a media company. If you'd have said to me at January last year, or February last year, you're doing really well for yourself, your media company, I'd just say it's only a piss around little thing we're doing as friends and that, but now it's something that I take very seriously and put all my work into, so.
I think that just shows really, because at the start obviously it was like three of your closest friends. I think it was Brandon and Ryan, but obviously now you take bringing people into very seriously. Obviously I was part of it, and now I'm obviously back, but the process in bringing people in, you had to look for some people who you could see a future they'd have in the journalism industry, and then obviously people with bags of ability. So obviously, like you said about it being a mess about and things like that, and it's something you take very, very seriously now.
I would say that is what I had to. I didn't want to get rid of Brandon and Ryan, but it's something I had to do to make sure this was professional, because let's not just be serious. Ryan and Young is not professional, and Brandon can be professional, but he's not into this anyway. He doesn't want to go into this. It's something he don't want to do. He did it as a favour for me, for doing the cameraman. So that was something like clearing out Deadwood. Ryan was Deadwood. He wasn't doing anything really, and we'll speak later on about how he used to work and stuff like that. But things like that, I had to remove my friends out of it and bring people into it. It only first started when you wasn't actually into it at first.
No,
when you came in.
That's what we're going to speak about later. Yeah. Honestly, I was adamant on doing children's nursing.
A lot of it for me was gaining friends. It was a bit of a stupid thing, but gaining friends, gaining people's trust of I can get players. It was a bit of a bragging thing at first, but now it's something to take first. And I think the first time I thought, let's start bringing people who know what they're doing, is Luke Feather. Brought him in. He wanted to do journalism, so I thought, and he did such a good job, and he's so interested in it. That's when I thought, all we're going to do now is hire people who want to do this. Yeah. That's it. I think I hired in September my mate Jake, and that didn't work out because he wasn't interested in it either. Yeah. That was like one that I thought maybe, but that basically you've got all it's transition from friends to professional, and that's what making us what it is today. But like you said, you've got to take it seriously now, bringing in people who want to do it and are interested. I even had Ben Kirby reach out once actually if he wanted to do it, and it never materialised, but that was something he was interested in doing, and I was interested in having. I used to take anyone back then, really. Yeah. So anyone that I'd ask, I'd say yeah. So anyway, now it's strictly. If you're into it or I can trust you, you're in, more or less.
Absolutely, and then obviously you touched on Luke Feather before, but when he first joined, he was sort of seen as the golden boy, and he did everything when I was there, and it was sad. I didn't really expect him to leave, but obviously he's gone on to bigger things. I think he's pursuing university at Newcastle, isn't he? But what was just him like for your setup?
Superb, to be honest. It's a weird one with Luke. I actually tell the story about Luke. I know his dad, and I know Luke through his dad. Me and his dad had a massive row on Twitter when they got relegated. I stupidly posted a picture of Christian Dennis smiling on the day against Newport on the pitch, and I posted a picture of him and said, "For their World Football League," and I was happy in this picture. I don't know why, but he put, glad to see some people having fun, and I'm like, who the hell's this dickhead saying this to me? When I get really defensive, I used to get really defensive and things like that, so I had to go back, and then I started calling him deluded. He called me delusional, and I said to him, if you want to discuss it, Phil, we'll meet you at Barnet. So we met at Barnet, discussed it, and he taught me some good lessons, actually. I said, do you really think Joe Rawson would be coming out with stuff like this? Do you really think Graham Smith would have reacted how I did to him? And I thought, he's got a good point there. And then I met his son Luke, and I didn't know he was into it, and then I put an application out, and Pete, his name, Luke's dad's name, put a comment saying at Luke Ferrer, so I was like, alright, so I messaged him, I said, listen, is your son interested? He said, yeah, he'd love to do it, so, but yeah, having him inspire me, that's how it happened, but having him inspire me, I asked Luke to do something, he'd get it done for me, even when he had revision, and now you used to call him Golden Boy. I referred to him as a Golden Boy, but as well as opportunities, I probably underdid Luke. I didn't give him many opportunities interviews-wise. I give him a lot of write-ups, but because he was so good at them. I regret not giving him a lot more interviews. I think that's why in the end he probably did leave. He probably felt he could have done his writing and he could have done bits and bobs without me because I wasn't giving him the interviews, and I felt bad for that, to be honest, because that's the reason that drove him away. He did really well on the radio. He came with the sound waves we were on, but yeah, the thing with Luke is I asked him to do something, he'd do it, and it was a dream to have, really, and I'm welcome him back anytime.
Yeah. And then, like you were just saying about his dad, I think that's why you're so good at like man management with when you like tell people to do, because like obviously was saying he made you think about, would Joe Rawson say this, and that's what you kind of like with us. And I know when I first joined, I always seemed you was quite harsh, but you look at how I was from when I first joined to where I am now. I've come on leaps and bounds.
It took a lot of shoutings at you though to get you this way. To be honest, it took a lot of moaning and the text to you and, Jack, don't do this. We'll go through some of them, but obviously it's some of the things you used to retweet, some of the things you used to say, but you were at least canon, but now obviously it's different, but yeah, that's what I had to do to a lot of people at the start. I never had to do it for Luke, obviously, but Ryan and you, I used to have to, it was like I was your dad, I used to keep dogging you, I'm younger than I just keep dogging you, please, Jack, come on, Jack, let's keep going. But that was the thing, but you have come on leaps and bounds, and hopefully now we can kick on.
I think we were just about to say with me and Ryan, I think whenever me and Ryan was together, we was just a recipe for disaster, really. Obviously with the ladies, we'd still do things, but it was just like the little things, like if Mark was coming over, we'd be laughing and we'd be messing about, and that's something that I know if Ryan wasn't there, I'd be able to say, I can see where you're coming from, and you did the best thing in really getting rid of him, really.
And this business, I don't want to be harsh, this business is not for Ryan, because Ryan cannot take criticism, and if this is the honest truth, Ryan takes a bit of criticism, he wants to fight you. That's serious, that's what it is, he takes it personal and he wants to fight you. I bet you can remember Nathan Khan shouting at him, and then he wanted to rip his head off and he wanted to fight him and that. So that's what I mean, Ryan comes for conflict, you came to work, and that was different. When you two mix, he used to drag you out of place, really, and now you're fine because he's not here. That's why I said to him, he came messaging me a while ago, saying he wants to come back into the ladies, not the radio. I said, why do you want to come back to the ladies? He says, I enjoy it. I said, but you don't do anything. And he didn't do anything, really. He did about 5 vlogs and tacked it in. Yeah. And then he'd be sat there winding you up and having a laugh with you, and it'd be like putting you off your work, and then it'd stress everything out. So that is one of the things that I am happy I did. Have no regrets over that, really. No. To be honest, everything's better now. He's gone, and him and Brendan are gone, because I'm not thinking about Deadwood all the time. I've got people who want to do it, you, Liam, Danny, Ian's obviously in it now, so we've got people who want to do it, and that's what makes me happy, to be honest, at the minute.
And we'll just dwell on the ladies a bit now, focus on that a bit more. Obviously, Mike gave Spire Media the opportunity to cover the media team for Chesterfield Ladies. Obviously, being part of a professional thing with the ladies, what would you say that had an impact like as the image on Spire Media?
To be honest, it's only boosted, to be honest. I think we get so much love now.
Yeah.
Well, at the start I used to get some tons of abuse because I was a loose cannon. I was, as well as you, I was kind of a loose cannon. I'd come out with some serious stuff, but I'd keep things of tone on social media. But I'd come on the radio. That was I just come out with some crap on there. Like I said Mike United once, and obviously pulled us aside and said, "Lads, come on, no more of that." So that happened, and I put on my Spire. I was on Spire Media in Chesterfield last, and I put WTF. We travel all that way to Hartlepool, and Keith pulled me aside. He said, "Come on, can't be putting that." So
do you think that's obviously...
You have to think as well, Jack. We're representing Chesterfield when we do that. It's not just Chesterfield.
Do you think that's more you is used to not being strictly have to be professional about everything you put? You just didn't think twice. You think it was hard to get in the mindset, I'm representing a lot of people now, I've got to think before I tweet or think before I type?
I honestly took a toll mentally on me, to be honest, being professional, because I think, I don't know if you know this or not, Jack, but I've never been a well-behaved kid at all before Spire Media. I was terrible. I almost got excluded in year 8. I almost got permanently excluded from school for fighting in year 7 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then year 9, it was a lot of messing around again, a lot of fighting. I used to get so much trouble winding up, disturbing classes and that. I get kicked out, isolation, everything. And this, to be honest, made Spire Media probably saved me, to be honest, in a way, from going down the dark path of, well, I wouldn't, not drugs or alcohol, but just bad decisions, really, and going, could have been at prison for fighting or anything, but that and this and joining doing MMA has really disciplined me, and that's why I like to take it very seriously. I take it very personally when someone attacks us or says something bad about it. I take every hate comments personally. I don't know why, but I don't respond to a lot of it now, but I take a lot of it personally, and so, yeah, it's my baby, really.
And obviously, kind of come at the right time, because I think when I joined, you was just finishing year 10, so...
Yeah.
Obviously, doing that, and if it changed you, going into year 11, you'd knuckle down, and that's the most important time of your career, so that's surely come at the right time.
Yeah, it couldn't have come at a better time. My teacher said something to me once about it. This gave you a purpose and knew what you wanted to do. Because before that, I wanted to do something to do with IT. I didn't have the grades for that. No. This, I know I can get the grades. I've got the grades easily, I feel like, my GCSEs. And this, it's not actually that hard to go into journalism, to be honest. You know your English language, you're pretty much good, and you know how to discipline yourself. You're fine, but that did come at the right time. You're right about that.
Yeah, and obviously we'll carry on about the ladies. It's been an unbelievable season this season so far. Mike's worked wonders. Obviously, sad news with Nathan departing, but do you think with what they've got, they can carry on with it next season and possibly win the league and go up again?
I'll be honest here. I'll be honest here. Nathan probably did a lot of the work. I know Mike's a great manager. Mike's on the day, Mike is the leading man who he'll team talk and he'll
he
tactics.
Always likes
behind the scenes, Nathan probably more likely did a lot of the coaching. I've worked with Nathan, I know he's very hands on.
Yeah.
He'll not set aside. Nathan will have done a lot of that work, so it's a massive gap to fill. And Simon's a good coach. I don't know much about him. I know he's been a scout at Sheffield United.
And worked with him as well.
Nathan is a all-night coach. Puts his life into coaching. I know Mike does as well, but Mike's more of on the day coach, so it'll be interesting to see how Mike copes with the departure of Nathan and how Simon's going to fill his shoes. It's not going to be the same because Nathan's a very loud character. I don't think Simon is. I think Simon will be more quiet and Mike will do a lot of the shine. But I'm not taking anything away from Mike. Mike did wonders as well, but Nathan probably did a lot of the coaching outside of the games and before that, and probably did a lot of the tactics. And I know, but the Burton game, it was his strong idea to do to counter attacking football. So that is a big gap we've got to fill. I think promotion, maybe. Yeah, championship, pet champions, maybe. We're not seeing much of this league yet, though.
No.
I suppose we should not struggle with relegation or anything like that. We should be up there, but to win the league first season, it's going to be a tough challenge, we'll have to say. But I know he's recruited well so far, so it's just really knuckling down and filling it. The main objective is those first 2 games, filling Nathan's shoes and seeing how they're going to cope under Nathan. Then we'll see.
And obviously the pre-season started. They lost one. I forgot the team, but they obviously did play Woodlands and they did beat them 7-1. Do you think with games like that, obviously we played Woodlands in the semi-final of the cup, beat them quite highly.
What league are they in?
They was in the same as the one with the development. So do you think winning against like Woodlands high will get the positive mindset up? Knowing they can score goals, and that's sometimes what pre-season about. Maybe playing like Chesterfield are doing now, playing Matlock. I know they're not winning convincingly, but winning them sort of games gives them the winning mentality to go forward.
Yeah, maybe, but if the opposition isn't great, then I don't really tend to look at the first few games of pre-season. To be honest, you have to look at the later stage and see how because the team's got to gel again. Still, they've been out for a while, so they've got to get back to the rhythm of playing and that. And like I say, they've got like with Spire Media, to be honest, it's the same thing. We've not been doing it for a while. We've got to get back into the chemistry of working together and organised interviews and getting back and out to get press passes and stuff like that. So yeah, it's similar to us really. The first few interviews don't take notice of, but the later ones you take notice of. Same with these, the first few games don't really take notice of, but the later few towards the end of the season, that's when you have to start taking notice and really looking at how the team are coping mentally.
Absolutely, and when pre-season's not been around, it must be boring for yourself, obviously not being able to get in a press box or go to the games or, sort some interviews out.
It's kind of depressing, really, to be honest. Because I know it sounds bad, but it is. You just want to do something. And I remember growing up when I was an older Cyprus, that was I want to get back into this so bad because I know it's almost time for the season, and it is. I'm loving it. I'm getting back into it, and just got a season press pass as well. So the press facilities all season is going to be great. Yeah. So I just can't wait to get back into it now. We've already done a few interviews already, and we're back into it with the press and media scrums and stuff like that. So. Really, I think you're looking forward to the Rotherham game covering that.
Yeah, I was just about to say, obviously Saturday we've got Rotherham.
And the Sheffield United game, there's big opportunities there for you, and that's what I mean, Jack. Things like this, if you look at the start, where we was at the start, we couldn't get in the press box. No. And to be honest, I thank that for Phil Tooley with Tommy Testimonial, where I helped out on that, and he got us in the door of the press, really, to be honest, because I helped on Tommy's brochure, I did a little write-up for one of their interviews, and I asked for free press pass. I think you can remember that game, can't you?
I can, yeah.
Interviewed Paul Cook, and that's when it really kicked off from us, and getting the press passes and stuff like that. That was the main thing. Getting a press pass will get us in the door. Now we're in the door, really, and that's the main thing. And yeah, we're just going to keep stable now.
And obviously, you've had unbelievable interviews like Paul Cook, Martin Allen, but one we can't forget, Gary Neville. We often wind you up about you follow behind him, and you are obsessed. But how did that come about? And that's an unbelievable achievement for yourself.
And one thing that annoys me with that, nothing should annoy me with it, but one thing that does annoy me with that interview is a lot of people think it was a fluke. I just went to ask him and he said yes. It was. That was not the case. I mean, Alan Wilkinson said it on his David Lilly's podcast yesterday, with the new podcast they've got. And he said he had the balls going to ask Gary Neville for an interview, and I thought, no, that was not the truth. I asked their media man a few weeks before if we could do it. He asked Gary, and Gary said yes. It was already planned. It was when I was going over to ask him, and he was about to go over the fence. He thought it was over the press box. I went, Gary, can I get that interview? Then it's you. So when we did it like that, but it wasn't a fluke at all. It was already planned, so it was going to always happen. So when people say it's a fluke, but that Gary Neville interview, to be honest, that walk up to that stand where he was sat was the hardest one of my life. To be honest, it was so. I always say, for interviews, when the pre-build up to it's horrible. Going up to the person, walking up to them, or just the first hour before waiting to do the interview is horrible, to be honest. Because you just when I'm in there, I'm fine because I'm doing what I'm doing. And
it's just the build up.
The build up to it, I hate it. I hate it every time. I think was it with you? No, it was with Ian the other day. I was meant to be doing Sheridan, but he only wanted to do media school, and I was absolutely covering my pants. I called it off actually. I said I don't want to do it. I want to do it next week. So I was getting so thing about it. So I'm not doing it for a while. But every interview, no matter if it's John Crute or Gary Neville, I get the same nerves. And the thing about Gary Neville interview is it's hard to top.
Exactly.
Very hard to top. And a teacher said it to me at school. He said, things have gone downhill since you've interviewed Gary Neville. And I said, not really, I just can't really top Gary Neville.
No, but it's hard to stay on the same level. Nothing ever goes like that, and it will never stay. Obviously, you might get, I don't know, it could be, say, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, someone like that. Someone like his level, but it's going to be a long time before, you might get a
the thing with that
Frank Lampard or something like that.
The thing that people have to remember is I'm only 15 when I did that interview,
exactly.
So it was a kind of a record thing for me, and but that's what a lot of people look on. I was 15 when I did it, and I'm proud of that. I did it at 15, and I think he said to me after I did really well, so that was something I remembered. And so I've got contacts there for life now, really.
Exactly.
The media guy I really speak to quite a bit, so yeah, contacts there are really good, and I always wish, that's why I never criticised Silver, because they're a really nice club and they helped me so much. And when I asked them, it wasn't, what organisation are you? I showed them what I've been doing, and they said, they said, we'll ask him. And that's what you call a proper professional club like ours. Our press was really good, and so there's some of these clubs that old, short, and you get RC about press and who are you and all that, and you get some of these big clubs like, no, we don't know who you are and that, and it just gets on my nerves. It's like you've got to start somewhere. to be honest. But yeah, in this industry, I know you say I do have to bend the knee to some people, but in that case, I didn't bend the knee at all. It was sorted weeks before, and yeah, to get in the door with me and you and Martin Allen, we had to bend the knee. If you remember, we had to speak. We spoke to him for half an hour, and he gave us the interview, and there's things like that. It's just, yeah, I'm missing out a load of details, to be honest, to what we've done. To be honest, I forgot about you getting the Adrian Whitbread number. That was a big stage for us.
That was it. Nuneaton away. He just said, cause we was asking about training, wasn't we? And he just said, well, I can drop you my number, and that was just unbelievable. But I was just about to say, I think. About being obviously nervous with interviews, I think that's where I'm more. Because when I first started, I was never nervous about doing an interview, but when I did it, it would just be a 1-2 minute interview, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that's what you was like. Oh well, you're asking good questions, but at least I think that was like a 1:50, and it was a new signing. Yeah. Should have been at least 5 minute plus, and now. You look at it, when there's an opportunity to do so, I bang them out, really. Yeah. I think that's like what you said, I've come on leaps and bounds. And
yeah, that's what I mean with that one. I think I criticised you heavily. I didn't criticise you after you done it. I said, well done, that's all right. But then after looking at it, I thought there was so many questions you could have more asked. But if it was a nervous, if you remember, I took it on your last minute.
Yeah, because Lee were coming over and you was like, I'm doing it. And then
Martin shy, he was sat with all players in a circle.
Like, who do you want to interview?
Who do you want? Sure. He went, who? Sure. So I remember doing that. He'd come over and I was like, Jack's going to interview, yeah.
I was like, am I?
Cheers, yeah. I remember that, and he only gave a couple of word answers as well. It was his first one, so it was tough for him as well. And you have to think about the other person. You want to make it easy for the other person to talk loads. And some of the questions in that was that's what Ian said to me once. He said, "Don't ever leave closed questions.
No,
you want to leave open answers where they've got to explain, so they can't say yes or no." So yeah, that's what happened to me a few times with Martin Allen. I asked a 1-word question, and he just went yeah, and I was like, "Crap, that's the worst when someone drops a 1-word answer on you." Like, how do I recover from this? That's what it's like.
Because sometimes some managers or players that you think they're gonna carry on, they'll just go and then you're just there for like 3 seconds, and they're like looking at you, and you're like, oh wait, dude, that was their answer. So, and we'll just finish.
That's the worst bit.
Yeah, we'll just finish last 5-10 minutes on your opportunities with Spire Radio. Obviously, I did a couple of.
Before that, I wanted to just tell a story about Michael Owen actually.
Go on.
I tell that one. I always like telling this one. It's a bit of a weird one, but it's not that interesting. But I thought I'd tell you it. But yeah, obviously the under-21s came to Chesterfield. Some big players there. Reece Nelson. We had.
The day I got sacked.
Who?
The day I got sacked.
Actually, yeah. Should we tell the day you got sacked?
Yeah, we're telling that story.
That's an interesting story. So the day we was playing the first half. But me and Jack was waiting outside. Jack couldn't come in the press box. I bet he wish he did now.
Yeah. Took Ryan.
Took Ryan with me, actually, and there was Reece Nelson, Kieran Dowell, Dean Henderson. There was Lewis Cut. There was all these big players. Calvert-Lewin, and Phil Foden was there. We got all pictures of these people. Tammy Abraham. And I said, "Has Michael Owen coming in?" No one argues, and they came in and we couldn't get a picture of them, so the bodyguard was there. So me and Ryan obviously went into the press, walked in the press room. Michael Owens just sat there with Owen argues, and I'm like, alright. It's like, alright, and this bodyguard's just staring me down. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's Michael Owen right in the same room as I wanted to just go up to him and say, picture. That's what I mean, you can't, it's annoying sometimes, you can't be fanboy, you really want to be fanboy, but you cannot do it, and that is an interesting one for me, someone I'd looked up to as a little boy, as a Man United fan, and walking in and seeing Michael Owen and Owen Hargreaves, and just seeing them there, and they're just so, it was them two in the room. I walked in, I was like, they're there. I was like, crap, what do I do? We just stayed there drinking a bottle of water we didn't like. And I just remember, but it was really, really interesting that. And I remember speaking to Owen Hargreaves actually after. He was a really nice guy. I didn't get to grab Michael Owen because he got off, but I remember speaking to Owen Hargreaves. He said, "You press today, are you?" He said, "You're pretty young to be doing that." And that's what a lot of people, remember Dagenham, they said, "You're really young to be doing press," and that's what a lot of the thing is.
That's what we've started well and done, but we'll just carry on about me. The day I got kicked out.
Yeah, I was sat next to a guy at UEFA. I don't know, that's probably tell us anyway. Sat with Ryan, and Jack had been winding me and Ryan up all night. That's not the problem, but his mate Kean, I just named him anyway, but his mate, I don't know if you told him or not, it's still under the debate, came over to the seat where the UEFA guy was sat. High up the UEFA does all the England games, and he was sat next to me and he'd gone for a coffee. Came over and he started jumping on the chair, laughing his head off. And I went absolutely brilliant. What the hell are you doing, you idiot? And I went crackers at Ryan. I said, "That's him done. That's him." Because I'd warned you multiple times before some things, and I said, "That's him done." And Ryan's like, "No, you can't do that. It'd be end of Spire Media. It'd be end of Spire Media." And I said, "That's him done. I swear down, he's done." I said, "What if that UEFA guy came up there?" Which is true. What if the UEFA guy came up and seen him doing that? I'd have been like, "Boys, what are you doing?" And then we'd have spoke to someone there, like, "Come on, what are you doing?" And it would have been index for us. So that was the the story. I told you that, and it went over loads of messages.
Yeah.
And it was like, you're done. Then he was like, I'm going to take over the ladies and come into Spire Radio. He tried to have a little rebellion. He did have a little rebellion at first, but it had to be shut down, obviously. I don't blame him for doing it. Actually, you didn't want to leave it all, but you realise you had to do it to gain your trust back. And
you gave me a good opportunity, obviously. I remember the meeting with Mike, and
I could have got rid of you.
You knew how much I loved doing the ladies stuff, and to be fair, you could have gone, look, he's a liability, I don't want to do it, but you didn't.
Yeah.
You know how much I enjoyed doing it, and you know how hard I worked, so I got the opportunity, and that's something I can never not thank you for.
I can remember you asking as well, you said, when do you think I can come back? And I said, I don't know. You'd legally show me 4 months away. In the first week you did, and then you went downhill again. You started tweeting some stupid stuff, and I think you went out of control for 2 months, and then you started gaining your head back. And then with that incident with Ian, we won't go into that. With that incident with Ian, so that was 2 months out of the way. So it's been 8 months actually since you were sacked. So it was about you dropped. I always say you dropped about 5 months, and then you gained 3 of really good work towards the end with the ladies, and that's how you're back really. But yeah, that night was horrible, to be honest, and obviously it was the charity match coming up, and we all know what happened with that.
Yeah.
How I disgracefully did it on the day of your charity match, which I always apologise for, but yeah, that's what I mean. It was getting really toxic between me and you towards the end, and I think you realise that now, and I realise that now, we treat each other differently, so that's how you got sacked, really.
Yeah. And then, like I said, we'll just finish on Spire Radio. Obviously, you don't do that anymore. You've gone on to bigger and better things. We'll just, before we go on to Elastic FM, just tell us what happened with Spire Radio and why you made the decision to leave.
Well, I won't spoke about this to anyone, to be honest. I don't know one knows this story, but me and Ian know it. I mean, know it big time. It's not a nice story or it's horrible, but obviously we came in. Simon Barnett brought us in to do a sports show. We were keen on the ladies. That's why they wanted us in. We got an email from him. It was one of the probably March time, no August time. There was no July time. Sorry, in 2018, and we took the opportunity. Thought it was a great opportunity. We heard about the radio station, and we came in. We did one trial session with David Miller. Obviously got it straight away. It was not hard to figure out, and we did the first show, me, you and Ryan, and that went well. And then I can remember wanting to do the phone calls, and him emailing Simon Barnett, please can you help me, please can you help me. Didn't get anything back, and I was like, come on, you just come in, you're not going to help me out, you're going to be so ignorant. And that's one of the things with him, ignorance. I didn't like the ignorance that was going on at Spire Radio, and that was just the start of it. But I don't know against Simon Barnett. I'm actually quite fond of him now. He's a really nice guy, and he actually did send me an instructions manual eventually, but it took him a while. So that was the first leaf off the tree, you could say, and obviously we got Tom and Liam, we had some good guests into that, but after you left, things went downhill, to be honest. Me and Ian was getting letters in the studio, accusing Ian of littering, someone left a letter on the desk, accusing Ian of littering. We know who this someone is, but we can't name them all. Accusing Ian of littering. So this letter was there for everyone to see as well. Everyone had seen it before Ian was littering. Ian not littered.
Obviously, it's a bit.
So Ian's
embarrassing.
Ian's got the letter. He's gone into the camera. He's gone, hey, show it letter, and puts it in bin as making a point. And they leave another one saying he's leaking Spire secrets or some crap. And I'm like, what's going on here then?
Yeah.
And then we're getting harassment. He's getting harassment messages of this person. It's actually a fake account of someone made. We know who someone is, but we're not going to know it because it's a whole situation we've been looking into with the police. But yeah. They left the harassment messages day in, and we had enough of it really. And that was the second leave, and we knew we had something hanging over us then, but we couldn't share because he had something on us, so we couldn't share that. And it was like hanging over us for a while, me and Ian, sending harassment messages, threatening to stab Ian and that, stuff like that. And then he offered Ian this ridiculous job, saying he's going to be a health and safety officer, basically going to snitch on people if they leave litter in the studio. And I thought this is the most ridiculous idea, Ian. You'd be called the studio snitch. Yeah. And Ian thought that as well. And then when Ian turned down the job, this guy said, if you don't take it, we're going to say to everyone, you wanted to be the studio snitch and I turned you down. So he basically bribed Ian again, and Ian's like, I had enough of this. And he almost walked away, and that would have been index. So we stayed, then we started doing the sports stuff on the Saturday. We stayed, he's looking good again. And then we find out I was leaving. But before this, we found out I was leaving. So obviously we said goodbye to Al and all that. But then we found out why. We looked in the comment section, and David Miller has said, news coming on a new presenter on the comment section of Al's post of saying he's leaving. And he said on the thing, news coming about a new presenter for his new show, for Alan's show that's been gone. It's like, why would you do that on his post when he's saying his goodbye? No. But then he didn't even tell Diana that she wasn't having the show. Diana wanted the show. She didn't even tell Diana that he wanted that she couldn't have the show, and she basically blew it up. So I had to go in for that, and he basically just asked me off completely and spoke to me like crap. So that was one thing. Then I had an argument with this lad in the Slack, and he was saying, "Where's the sport team at?" and being more or less calling us lazy, and then he started calling me out for having time off for my GCSEs. I was like, "Come on!"
No, it's most important time.
I said in advance to Alan, I can't be there for months because I've got my GCSEs. And then he tries to find this post in Slack where I said I was away for 2 weeks, but I didn't say that. I said because I did put it in the chat at first. David said send it personally to Al, so I did. So then everyone just contradicts themselves. So I told him to get off his high horse, and then I think you've seen it anyway. But it got out of control, and obviously I got a warning, but I just had enough by then. And obviously we found out Al's going to Elastic and doing a show, and there's some more news coming on that. I thought Tully and new start, new beginning, and we went to Elastic actually the other day. A great start. You've seen it as well.
Yeah, I've seen some photos.
And there's some really nice people there. No ignorance. It was welcoming as well, and obviously I thank Spire for the opportunity they gave us. And there was some nice people there, but there was a lot of power high horse people that just don't want to get off the hype train. Really, So I don't want to talk much more about that because it annoys me really, because it started. I enjoyed Spire on the sport team with the sports side of it, and I don't want to really leave them. But the other side of it, it's just too much politics in it, and there's too much drama in it. And this radio station's calm, and there's big plans and all for this radio station, like big plans, and everyone will see what is coming soon and stuff like that. So that's what happened with Spire. I'm
sure that's a brilliant way to finish the podcast. But thank you, Charlie, for coming on, and